Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Super Soda Bros podcast, another Netherfire Studios production. I am Caleb.
And I am Luke.
And today is a day which exists.
It sure does, pal. It's a real day that exists.
So, I know it's kind of cliche and everything, but how's the weather up there for you guys?
It's actually really nice. It's today I think it was a high of 80 degrees and it was bright and sunny. It was humid like early this morning, but as soon as like lunchtime came around it went away.
Yeah, it's been about the same here for us in Pittsburgh. You know, upper 70s, maybe it touched 80 degrees today, but very humid. Like 65% humidity.
Yeah, it's hold on, I'm fixing my lighting cuz it's way too bright for my eyeballs. Whatever. Yeah, this coming week is going to be... Oh my gosh.
Technical difficulties changing the lights.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It looks semi-natural. Yeah, this coming week, the weather's going to be in like the mid-70s, low 70s. So personally, that's going to be even better for doing stuff outside and all that fun stuff.
Cool. What's your guys' weather and stuff looking like for tomorrow? Because here, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, boy. Let's see. 77 and partly sunny.
No way. Are you serious?
I can show you the weather right now.
Oh, my goodness. So, no, I believe you. Oh, man, that's the dream, isn't it?
It's probably inverted for you, though.
It's a little blurry. No, I can see it. Oh, yeah. 80, 77, 78, 84. Oh, boy. So,
Friday's going to be hot, aside from that.
It's the opposite for us. Saturday, it's going to be actually the coolest all week. It's going to be a high of 74. Yep. Sunny, too, which is surprising. But guess what kind of temperatures we're looking at for Wednesday and Thursday in Pittsburgh?
92.
93 and 92.
Hey, got it.
And I work both those days.
Nice.
Yes.
See, like, I think wait, you said that was on Wednesday?
Wednesday and Thursday. Both.
I think that heat wave or whatever comes into us, but only briefly on Friday, because Friday here is supposed to be 84. Mm-hmm. So for you guys listening to the podcast, yesterday probably. But yeah, I think that the heat current is coming your way and then coming to us and then disappearing in the ocean and mountains.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because like we have the mountains and the ocean kind of close to us. So like we get like winds and we get like sometimes we get heat, but it usually comes and goes really quickly.
Yeah.
So we don't really get hot bursts. We get like a day, and that's about maybe 2 days.
Yeah, and then it kind of peters back out.
Yeah, it's nothing lingering at all. Although last year we had a week in July, I think. It was 1 week in July where it was like mid to high 90s all week, and then it went right back down to the low 80s. So usually, from my experience of living up here for only a year, usually there's 1 or 2 hot weeks, and then it's back to fine.
Yep. Which it kind of makes it easy to plan outdoorsy stuff too, which is really, really good.
Oh yeah, because when it gets to that temperature, when it's in like the high 80s, low 90s, you're kind of like, I'll go in my house.
Yeah. With the air conditioning.
Or go to like the local river or pond or the beach or something. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I kind of made a plan to do something at the very end of July. And it is something that, surprisingly, Maya agreed to go with me. Now, Luke, what outdoor activity?
Airsoft.
Yeah.
So you're going?
Yeah, so there's a field that's about half an hour, 40 minutes north of us. And unfortunately, they only do airsoft on the last Sunday of the month because they're like an airsoft / paintball place.
Oh.
And so I guess their main airsoft events are always on the last Sunday. And we have something going on this month, and also it's kind of short notice and everything like that. And I'd have to request a day off because I work on Sundays. So I'd either request a day off or switch it for Saturday. So I work Saturday instead.
Gotcha.
So it being this far in advance gives me time to kind of get that application process going so we can actually go. And I was surprised that Maya agreed because, like, she hasn't, shot a real gun before. She hasn't fired an airsoft gun before. Very new to that kind of sport. It's not a military simulation, but it's, as close as you can get, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's only a military simulation if you actually go out and play at a milsim. Military simulation. It's kind of in the name.
Yeah.
And those are definitely, like, military base where it is, like, commanders and there's different forces and different groups and different objectives for your side and all that stuff. But if you're just, like, playing somewhere, it's usually just have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be, like, objective-based. I mean, the theme of the one that we're planning on going to is based around Far Cry 6, which I'm unsure what that would look like.
Cuba.
But I wanted to go to the one that was this month. But, like I said, we have something going on. But this month, it was D-Day.
Ooh.
That would be really cool. But
that's cool.
I haven't played Airsoft in a couple years at this point, so it'll be good to get back in. And also, with Maya being there, having a newbie kind of experience that sport.
What's really funny that you mentioned Airsoft is that back on Sunday, Christy and I went to a car show up in Maine, and Ethan met us there, and we were talking and stuff, catching up on a few little things here and there, and he says, yeah, I usually play Airsoft every single weekend. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Still?
You still play like almost every single weekend? I'm like, dude, really? He's like, yeah, I just went to a milsim last month in New York, and then my buddies and I are going down to Mississippi for another milsim in August. I'm like,
what the heck?
Dude, like, really? He probably must have something good. I think he has, like, not a CO2 powered, but, like, an air powered airsoft gun, so it's, like, super duper good. So you can go,
yeah,
and stuff.
That actually, I'm honestly, one of my dreams is having one of those.
They're expensive, but they're not, like, stupid expensive. Like, if you play, like, at least, like, once or twice a month, it's worth it. But if you only play, like, once or twice a year, it's, like, eh. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was telling me that he still plays super often. He was, like, mentioning me a few places and stuff. And I said, oh, yeah, I know these 2 places that are kind of local. He's like, oh, yeah, I heard of those.
Because he's living in Maine, right?
Yeah, he used to live way up in northern Maine, like an hour and a half north of Portland.
Okay.
So from us, it was, like, almost 3 hours.
Wow.
And he just moved to Saco, Maine, which is about probably 40 minutes south of Portland. So instead of him being 3 hours away from me and Christine, he's only maybe an hour.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, you moved there already? He's like, yeah, I moved down there like 3 days ago or whatever. I'm like, geez. I'm like,
wow.
Well, since you live close, we can actually hang out once in a while if you ever want to do airsoft or if there's any car shows or whatever. He's like, yeah, man, of course. I'm like, dude, yeah, because I was like, dude, it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've seen. He's like, dude, I know what happened. And we're like, life.
Yeah, no, honestly though, because like I remember, back when we were growing up, we played airsoft at his house. He has kind of an old mining site in his backyard. For those people that don't know, who've never been to his house, so it was there from like 60 or 70 years ago, and then his family owns it now, or he lived there obviously. So growing up, we would always play these very like ragtag, fast and loose kinds of games where it was like maybe 6 or 7 people at the most, and we just have fun all afternoon shooting each other. And occasionally we'd go out to places like Ground Zero or Tactical Airsoft, like an actual official field with dozens of people. But I remember making a lot of fun memories in that little bowl right there.
Definitely a lot of fun.
And then when he moved away and went to college, he started playing at a field Ethan played at next to his school. And so he would always send me his GoPro videos, and I would edit them and post them online and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, he says he still does that. He still like records games and whatnot and just saves them and stuff. So I'm like, oh.
Maybe I'll have to get in contact. I'll have to get in contact with him and say like, "Hey, show me some of your best stuff, and I'll make a compilation for you."
Honestly, he's like he hasn't changed.
Oh yeah.
which is kind of cool. But yeah, it was good. I I won't get it because it's downstairs. But we went to the car show and there's a bunch of cars there or whatever. And I entered my car in the car show again this year. Last year at the car show, they had some stupid rule where they didn't mention it until the very end of the day after there was judging. And they're like, oh, if you don't have your hood popped open, your car is not entered into the car show. So last year, I'm like, I just paid for car show parking or whatever, and I didn't even get entered into the show because I didn't have my hood popped.
That's so stupid.
So I'm like, that's so BS. Anyway, so this year I made sure I parked, hood popped. I'm like, okay, just see what happens or whatever. I'm like, I'm not expecting a whole lot because there are a lot of other Audis there or whatever. And then, the entire day goes by, whatever, we just kind of listening, like, oh, if I get a something, whatever, cool. Not really expecting it. And like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, second place, this guy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, yep, didn't win anything, no way. And they're like, first place, Luke Soderbergh. Like, oh, let's go. Got
What?
First place for Audi, yeah.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, first place. I got a plaque downstairs. It's really cool. It's
Nice,
like wood
dude.
grave. Yeah, I'm like, just kind of, Ethan and I were chilling, just, Luke Soderbergh, and Ethan's like, dude, no way. I'm like, I can't even believe I just got first place. But they had like a whole bunch of different categories for different stuff, but it was just for my category I got first place.
Yeah.
Which is still cool.
Yeah, no, that's wicked awesome, dude.
Yeah, I was really excited. I'm like, this is sick.
Did you get like a $15 Subway gift card or something?
No, I just got a wood plaque.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
bragging
like,
rights.
It's like a I'm coughing.
Watch out there.
It's like wood burnt kind of, so it's got it's not like hand done, it's by like some sort of press, and it just says, VAG Fair Vacation Land 2022 first place, and it has like a Volkswagen bus on it and stuff because it's just Volkswagen based or whatever. But still, I got my first 12 guys. Look at me go.
Yeah, you can mount it and show off. Be like, I won a competition one time.
Just one time. Yeah, that's right. I just put it downstairs in the living room and went boop.
Sweet.
But yeah, that was pretty exciting. And Christine was taking a nap because it was like really, really nice out, so she was kind of sleepy or whatever. And Ethan and I walked over. She's like, you better win something or I'm going to be super mad. And I come back and I'm like, I got first place. And she's like, it was all for something.
It was
really
worth
funny.
It.
It was worth it. You actually won. I always would have been really mad at you. But yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
It was fun.
Awesome. Do you have any other kind of conventions like that coming up?
There's one in July, like 4 or 5 towns south, which is another Volkswagen based one, and it's a lot of the old ones. So I might go to that. I'm not sure. On first Sunday of each month at the Fox Run Mall in Portsmouth, it's a huge mall. They pretty much take over. It's basically like Buckland Mall, and they take over the entire mall parking lot for a car show. So there's like hundreds and hundreds of cars there. So we're probably gonna go to the one in July, depending if we're free or not. Because we went to the one in May, and it was huge. Like, no joke. We walked pretty quickly through all the rows, and it took us like 2.5 hours to walk through them all. There's that many, yeah. So we're probably gonna go again. Yes, there's that one, that Volkswagen one maybe in Deerfield. I don't know. And then there's Wolfsgart, which is way up in Burlington, Vermont, and that's the same week as Soulfest. So I'm going up there because I've been dying to go to that one for like 4 or 5 years or whatever since I got my car. But working my last job and them having set schedules for the shutdown for the week, I could never go to it. So this year I'm taking time off to go to the show. So Christine's gonna stay here because of Soulfest and stuff. So I'm just gonna go up and maybe but get with some other guys that I used to hang out with in Connecticut, hang out with them and whatnot, and stay and
That's
go.
fine. I'm just gonna be chilling with Skillet instead.
Why are you rubbing it in my face? It's fine. I've seen Skillet so many times. Although it's Skillet.
That's true. I mean, every Skillet show is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Except for the last 2 albums have not been great. But anyway,
But other than that,
but yeah. Although I am a little bit jealous, Christine is meeting Skillet.
yeah,
She got her dad bought her, not pit passes, but meet and greet.
yep,
So that's pretty cool.
that's lit. That's,
Pretty jealous about that one.
That's
She's
what's up.
Hi Jen. Hi Seth. Hi John. Hi Cole. All right, okay, bye.
See you later.
Usually that's how it goes when you meet band members. You're like, can you sign this? Thank you. Bye. I love you.
You are a god.
You are so much greater than me. Love you so much.
Hey, you know Noah has, you know the band. Noah has sang. I guess they had their first concert this past week.
They've never done a concert?
I mean, they said it was their breakout tour, and they are doing Hartford, I believe, Springfield, Massachusetts, and then Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is like way on the east side.
Huh.
Yeah, so they're doing like a trio of shows, and apparently it's their first big showing or whatever.
I'm surprised. They've been around for quite a while.
Yeah, but also like they're kids, you know.
Yeah, it's a small band, but I mean, like they've been around for like 5 years.
Maybe they play it at like singular locations, like with other bands. That's kind of like, you know, the openers. Maybe a bar or something like that. But this is like, I believe it's like their first tour where they're like a major part of it.
Maybe. Christine shut the door on me, so it was already getting hot in here.
Oh Lord, yeah, you got to have that airflow.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in this room, there's vents in every room in our apartment, so wherever you're at, it's cold. What was I gonna say? Okay, so talking about airsoft a little bit more. So right now, I have a FAL, which I have custom painted. Looks amazing. The mags are really beautiful. They got a skull on them. It's great.
Are those the yellow ones? The yellow one?
No, it's no. They're like a camouflage with like a tan speckle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm thinking of our pistols we painted yellow.
Oh yeah, no. So I have that. I don't know if the batteries work because, like you said in a previous podcast, I haven't used them for a while. They're pretty old. Like they're like 5 or 6 years old at this point, if not.
Charge
more.
them, and then shoot a pillow, like muzzle pillow. Go pop pop. See if it works.
Yep, I will. And then I have a submachine gun, the GAT. That's probably going to be one that Maya uses. One, because it's light and she's still a newbie. And also, I will probably need the bigger gun anyway. And then we have the elephant gun pistol, which is like 500 feet per second.
Boom. Dude, that gun is insane. I've only used it a handful of times. Handgun. But it's so strong. It hurts. That one hurts so
It's
much.
over 500 feet per second, which is like...
I think it is. If you use a 0.2 or 0.22 gram BB, I think it's 500.
Yeah, if you use like a 0.25 or 0.3, it goes down to like 300, but that's still like a fast rifle.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Those are definitely the heavy ones, so it's accurate.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta see if I have any heavy ones. So there's a lot of...
That one's definitely... Well, before my AK broke, my AK was the most satisfying, but the pistol is the most satisfying because it has kickbacks. So it goes like... Ka-dung, ka-dung, ka-dung. You're like, whoa!
It takes a little bit away from its actual shooting power because it's using CO2 gas to actually propel the slide backward.
That's true.
But it's still cool. It still feels cool.
Yeah. It is really inefficient, but cool factor, plus 10 points.
Exactly.
Coolness.
And that's what matters. Like, airsoft is all about fashion.
All that matters is how cool you are, because if you're cool with your homemade spray painted airsoft pistol, you're cool.
Which was us. We were cool in the eyes of our friends.
Apparently.
But yeah, no, and I don't know how much gear I have in terms of like camouflage or whatever, so we might have to improvise with the gear setup, kind of splitting it evenly between me and Maya, but we will see how that goes.
Yeah. Do you have like an army barracks around you or no?
A few. There's a bunch of surplus stores, but in terms of like an army installation, there's one maybe 10 minutes from here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they got
Closer
like
than us.
they got like Humvees and like I think they got a couple howitzers there too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's basically just a storage facility.
Hmm.
But then there's
Yeah.
there's an Air Force base that's kind of connected to the airport, so they got a lot of like that's an actual military base. Like if you enter, you get 5 stars immediately.
Yeah. Win the game, enter the base.
Exactly. I remember doing that on GTA 5 with Ethan, and it being just a blast.
Yeah. Always a good time.
Yeah. Not for prefacing, not an actual military base, a fake military base on GTA
In a
5.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Game.
I do not condone going into restricted places.
No condolences here.
No, none.
Just pleasantries.
Are we still in the pleasantries portion of the podcast? I feel like we've moved past that.
You are definitely past the pleasantries.
It's I think pleasantries expire after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're into the not so pleasant pleasantries.
The unpleasant.
Which is it's called a conversation.
Yeah. And
nobody wants that.
No, it's very extremely unpleasant.
Yeah.
So today's sponsor is let me get this here. Today's sponsor is the Warrior Dash. It might be backward on your screen, but that's okay.
Well, that's good on mine.
Okay, well, I don't know. For my camera, it's a bit weird. Look at that.
Thank you, Warrior Dash, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. We're sorry you went out of business 4 years ago, but thank you for sponsoring us.
They still have that little bit of personnel left working on the back end. We're like, hey, we just want people to remember us. So that's why we're sponsored, is just for the remembrance.
It's Joe. Joe is the last man who's part of the Warrior Dash. He's like, I got it, guys. I'll keep down. I got my web page going and my MySpace account. It's okay, guys. I'll keep the forums up to date on the Warrior Dash.
And Joe has never done a Warrior Dash. Let's just say that.
He watches it from the webcams and the GoPro footage. He like sits outside when it's like 50 degrees out and he starts sweating because he's so overweight. But he just like sits there. He's like, oh, I did the Warrior Dash, guys, and he like watches it like really close to his face for a POV version.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretending he's doing it. Spot on, like true American hero right there. Just Big Joe.
Big Joe. That's his
We
name.
appreciate you. Thank you, Joe, for listening to our podcast
And for helping have Warrior Dash sponsor us. This is a medal from 2012, which just shows you how long ago I did it.
Wow.
And I don't even think this is my most recent one, because, like...
We did like 2 or 3.
Yeah, we did a couple times. Also, you're wearing a Spartan shirt. Spartan is way better.
Spartan is way better.
It's like, the goat of obstacle terrain races.
It's like the big brand for terrain races, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the biggest brand.
Yeah. If not the biggest, one of the top 3, for sure.
Definitely top 3.
But yeah, no. So Warrior Dash is a obstacle terrain race, or it was, judging by I guess they went out of business. And so that's what kind of got our family into that kind of world of marathon plus climbing over and under things in the mud. So it was definitely a fun time, and not without its drawbacks. For example, you had to train for it. You had to get into shape. You had to, learn endurance. But you could go as fast or slow as you wanted. So it was a fun time, and you got to spend it with family. I mean, even Maya did a terrain race a couple years ago. I think right before we got married.
Was that the bubble one? Why is my camera not focusing?
Yeah, you're really glitching out for me.
Weird. Hello.
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't like the lights.
I don't know.
Is it good now or not really?
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, whatever. It's being weird.
I don't know.
Hmm.
You're fine. Just roll with it. Yeah, so the one that Maya did, I think it was the bubble race, but it was still kind of,
Terrainy, kind of, sort of.
yeah.
There was another one.
No, she didn't do the bubble race. I don't know. Wait,
Was it just terrain race? Or monkey dash?
might have been Monkey Dash. I don't remember.
I think it was that one. I remember her doing one with us. I do remember that because Christine did it too.
Yeah, I want to say it was 2018 that we did that. I think.
Maybe.
Man, what was it? Because it was right when she moved from Connecticut to Pittsburgh. I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll get a judge's ruling on that by next episode. Because Maya will let me know. Also, I feel like
dark.
that's fine. Yeah, hopefully that'd be good. So I think that we should have a judge's ruling section on this podcast, where week by week we'll have to correct ourselves on either facts we got wrong, dates we got wrong. Because I've listened back to some of the other episodes, and I'm like, that was just not correct.
That is incorrect, sir. Try again.
I
feel like we're not good at fact checking, or like,
no,
or our memory is just like, that sounds about right. Just say that, and we're all good.
We have the memory of a 5-year-old. Like I know we said some wrong things when talking about the Halo show. Can't remember what. I remember saying some wrong things about Halo Infinite. Can't remember what. I said some wrong things about. I said some wrong things about Brazilian culture a while back. I think that was our first judge's ruling where
that was
Maya told me, she's like, that's not right. You should apologize, and I apologized.
Incorrect, sir.
Wrong. So that'd be cool to have like a little thing like, here's what we got wrong last week.
Special portion of the podcast. What did Luke and Caleb mess up? Let's go over it.
It turns out that Luke does have an IQ in the single digits.
IQ, yay! I have four IQs.
I have all 4 of them.
I am 4 years old. Say 4 years old.
Exactly. No, it's because you have 4 fingers down. That's what makes you 4.
I'm 4 years old.
Four fingers down. 4 fingers down.
It's like, duh. Like a 4-year-old, actually. Yeah. Look at my finger. See?
You're just holding your hand like.
It's like a baby who just found out what the hand can do. It's like, oh, I can move this thing? My brain is telling me to do that?
Did you know that? Okay, so I might get fact checked for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm just that daring. Babies don't have self-awareness. I believe it's up to 8 months after they're born, which is why you see them like biting their hands and their feet all the time. It's because they don't realize that those parts are actually attached to them, and their hands and feet are actually them.
So they just think like they're a camera who's like this. They're like,
yeah, their whole life is like, where I am here, my mouth, my nose, my eyes, this is me. Everything else is not me. I'm not aware of any other thing. Even though I might be like feeling myself move my arm, this isn't me. This isn't my hand. So I'm just going to chop on it.
makes sense.
So then once they develop that awareness, that's when they're like, okay, here's my hand. That's when obviously they get more dexterous walking, picking up items, drawing stuff, even if it's, random stuff. But
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that's why it's really
sense.
important to make sure babies are crawling pretty early, because they're working on their hand-eye coordination, where they might not be necessarily aware that those are parts of their own body. Their brain is still connecting the dots and making sure that they're getting all those motor skills developed.
Imagine like learning that this is you. Like, wait, this is me this whole time?
I'm a freak.
Why am I trying to eat these?
I taste so good. But it's just crazy to think about,
That's funny.
The human body and consciousness and mind is just so interesting.
The
know?
human conscience is a great thing.
It's a great thing and a scary, terrible thing at the same time, because think of what it can do.
Yep.
It makes the Halo TV show.
Once you... Don't
Oh,
even
no.
get me started.
The PTSD.
It's coming back. Master Cheeks, not again.
I can't bear to watch it again.
I can't do it anymore.
I might watch season 2, though.
I will. I hope it's better.
Hopefully, if the developers are smart, they're going to take the feedback that people gave for the first season about flow, about character, about dialogue, and just completely start again. Have a completely new directing objective for the second season.
I agree. They should definitely learn from their mistakes and move forward unto dawn.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Got him.
Also, people, Forward Unto Dawn is another Halo miniseries, which was fantastic.
Pretty good.
Pretty dang good.
Pretty good.
So, we haven't talked about the main thing yet, which is kind of what might be the main thing that we talked about this episode. So
your mama.
She's pretty great. Also, she's your mama too. I say that every time you do a yo mama thing. I'm like, you're just friendly fire, dude. Friendly fire.
Shoot it yourself. Your mom.
My mom.
My mom too. Oh boy.
But yeah, so if y'all remember back at last episode, we were recording that right before the weekend, which we traveled to Connecticut. And now that it's passed, and family members might be listening to this that are of the appropriate age of where they might have listened. I don't know what that means. We can reveal that the thing we went to was our grandpa's 100th birthday party.
Oh, I went to cousin Charlie's christening.
Oh.
I missed the party, didn't I?
You probably should have been there, Luke.
I gotta make a phone call real quick. 911, what's your emergency help? I'm stupid. No, but yeah.
I mean, one of Grandpa's, his middle name is Charles, so it makes sense he went to Charles.
Oh! Space that. But coincidentally, it was the same thing all along.
It's the opposite spectrum of life. You have birth and you have old. 1-year-old and 100-year-old.
Okay, yeah, that's not wrong.
I mean, I don't know where I was going with that.
So yeah, we had a big party. It was very big.
Very massive. It was.
To say stuff in front of everyone, which is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, we had to give a speech, like a short story of a memory with Grandpa, and I feel like everybody did a really, really good job. Everybody kind of had their own way of talking, and I mean, even our youngest cousin, she wrote a poem and read her poem for Grandpa, which I thought was really sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of Uncle York's old scoutmaster was there. And I went on the Allagash. I think I talked about the Allagash trip. I'm not sure. If I did, whatever. If I didn't, whatever. But I went on a huge trip with him, Uncle York Jed, and Uncle York's friend Tim years ago. And we just caught up for a few minutes. And then afterwards, he was like, Luke, all of your brothers and sisters and your wife and everyone was so articulate. Like, everyone had a completely different story. Everyone spoke very well. Everyone was, like, on the ball. They knew what they were saying. I'm like, I think Grandpa raised some pretty good grandkids.
He sure did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so nervous, kind of, because, like, I kind of had a game plan. I knew my story. But getting up there and kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Saying it to people, like, I didn't have a script. I was just kind of going off what I remembered. It was really scary.
The anticipation is always worse than actually doing it.
Which is why I'm thankful I went first, and you went third, I think.
Third.
Yeah, because Maya was after me. But I was so thankful. I'm like, yes, we're doing oldest to youngest. Let's go.
Get mine out of the way. Ooh, your turn, guys.
But
yeah, it was a good time.
And also hearing Mom and Uncle York's stories, too, was just amazing as well. And then, the microphone passed around the room, and friends and family of Grandpa told their stories.
Couple.
Mr. Hassel, Grandpa's coworker and our longtime church friend, told
It
a
all
funny story. He's honestly, Mr. Hassel is one of the funniest people I know, hands down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, but yeah, it was a good party. It was a surprise, which is why we couldn't really say it last podcast. But we had a good time. There was food, there was dancing, there was a lot of people we hadn't seen in a while, especially cousins. A lot of cousins from Massachusetts. So,
although I didn't get to talk to any of them.
I talked to a couple. A couple people came up to me, but I think at every one of our family gatherings, I'm always too scared to go over to the Erico side of the family, like all those.
We didn't grow up with them though. That's the thing.
Yeah, because I mean, at the very best, we spent summers with some of them, and then there's also the Christmas parties. But other than that, it was
Never.
nothing, no contact even, really that much.
I didn't really talk to any of the cousins, but I talked with Uncle Tim and Uncle PJ and Tucker for a bit.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
He was asking me about, are you guys coming up to the lodge this summer? And that was the first I had ever heard of it. I'm just like,
You've never heard of the lodge? For 4 years?
Nope.
How?
And obviously, I know it's kind of an open invitation to the Soderbergh family, but this is the first time I had ever heard that.
All right, so
no. I know about it now because I talked to PJ and Uncle Tim. But yeah, no, and because Uncle Tim has a lodge up there. Everybody goes to hang out, and it's basically a couple days or a week of just relaxing and going jet skiing.
It's a wilderness getaway with extremities. So you have the getaway feeling. You're on the road is 5 miles of dirt road, and then you get to the lodge on a lake, and all that stuff. And I've heard stories. I've only seen a handful of pictures though, but I've heard it's nothing but a good time. So me and Christine are very excited to go up and go for an extra long weekend. I think we're going from Wednesday night to Sunday morning.
Oh, that's a lot of days.
Yeah, we took two extra days off because we wanted to actually spend time there. Because we could have taken 1 day off, but if we just take 1 day off, we have one actual full day there, which I didn't want to do.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's you get there and then you leave. We need to take solid time off to go up and relax and have fun and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, at the party was the first time I had heard of that. I'm like, I don't know if we can make it. Basically, if anybody tells us anything hey, there's this thing happening in a month or 2 months, more often than not, me and Maya can't do it just because of the time we need to take off. But that sounds like a blast, and honestly, I wish that we lived a lot closer so we could actually do that. But sadly,
yeah. So I accidentally rubbed it in Uncle Tim and Uncle PJ's face. So I'm like, oh yeah, we can finally come up because I actually have PTO I can use whenever I want and stuff. They're like, yeah, it must be nice only having to drive 3 hours. And Uncle PJ's like, yeah, Mr. 14 hours over here. I'm like, oh, that's right. You live in Virginia.
Why doesn't he fly?
No, because they go up together and they trailer up stuff.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Usually they get their little posse and they go up. A couple people and other people meet there. But I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. I have to drive a quarter of the time.
Yeah. Dang, dude.
And it's all nice driving, too. It's just up 295, just whoop, all the way up to Bar Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's crazy to think, he has to drive 14 hours to get up there. But for me and Maya, West Virginia is only an hour away. Well, if you go west, it's 30 minutes. But if you're going south, it's an hour. Because, West Virginia has that little, pokey tail.
Mm-hmm.
The little, that comes up at the end of it. So that's the part where if you go west, it's a little bit. But West Virginia's fairly close.
Do people live in West Virginia? I've never met anyone who has family, or who has lived in West Virginia.
Neither have I. I do have a few acquaintances that I text with, but in terms of people we grew up with, or friends of friends, nobody.
I
Because
feel like
it's mostly mountains, and
I feel like West Virginia is like the forgotten state.
yeah, I can see that.
I always forget about. I remember Delaware all the time. I always forget.
Because like hardly anyone lives in like that central part of West Virginia because it's all the Appalachian Mountains. So that's where you got all the freaks and weirdos and all the hillbillies.
Yeah.
But like I guess I shouldn't say civilized, but the more modern living people live on the east and west coasts of that state.
True.
It's just the middle part that's all weird. Same thing with Pennsylvania. The middle of Pennsylvania, it's 5 cows and 2 people and 20 trucks. Just because of the mountains and the pasture and stuff like that, there's not really a reason for people to live out there.
So there's a little graph or whatever, and east of like Minnesota, Iowa, and like Missouri and stuff, east of all those states, West Virginia has the second least amount of people. Vermont has the least amount.
I would have said it was Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is a different shade of like the green or whatever. If it focuses. It's not really working. But like, yeah. So Maine, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island are the same shade of green. And then the lighter version of that green is Vermont and West Virginia.
Interesting.
Dang.
And not going to talk politics. So this is like the partial part of the politics section of the podcast. West Virginia is one of the only deep red states where they typically vote Republican, which they have I believe they have words. How do they work? They have a Republican governor, but their senator in Congress, Joe Manchin, is a Democrat. So it's just interesting to see like their representative in federal law and federal policy is Democrat, even though the entire state is like deep red.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of states that are kind of like that where they're kind of backwards because I think Maine and New Hampshire are also like that where the population is Republican but the people in the higher ups are Democratic.
Yeah. Pennsylvania is like that too. Our governor, Tom Wolf, is a left-leaning Democrat. And but the issue is that most of Pennsylvania is red. Like, obviously very rural. That's a hard word to say. Very farming. A lot of trailer parks, a lot of Republicans around here. You'll see Republicans flying basically, I've seen Confederate flags 15 minutes from Pittsburgh. And it's crazy because, like, obviously Pittsburgh and Philly are very blue, very Democratic, and there's a couple other cities that are very blue. But the majority of people in Pennsylvania are red, so it's just another one of those things where the leadership is flipped. I guess technically Pennsylvania would be classified as a purple state, where it's like half and half. But yeah, some other states like New York, 100% blue. Some states like
California.
Yeah, California,
100% blue.
100% blue. Some states like Tennessee, I don't know about Tennessee. But
Florida or Texas.
Florida, red.
Super red.
Texas, red. So it's just interesting that sometimes either you have little pockets, of red, little pockets
or it's
of
like
blue. Yeah, or half and half,
Clearly a blue state or clearly a red state.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not going to discuss that. We're not going to talk about it. It's just an observation. So, but yeah, with Grandpa's party, what were some other stuff we did? We
went out to Brazilian barbecue.
True, we did. We went to Texas Day Brazil, which I don't know why it's called Texas Day Brazil.
Because you eat a lot of food and it's big.
I guess. But yeah, they have for those really people that have not been to like a high-end Brazilian buffet barbecue place, you have a little card which is color-coded green and red on opposite sides. If it's on the green side in front of your table, people are carrying...
Key factor, though, if you're colorblind, it's blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow, if you are colorblind. Our audience out there, the one of you, maybe.
It's me. Hi.
Hello. Anyway, blue and yellow. You leave the blue side up, and so there's people carrying around big skewers of meat, different kinds of meat: lamb, beef, pork, chicken, whatever, different combinations of everything, garlic, bacon, whatever, anything. And they'll just come to your table and say, "Hey, do you want this thing?" And you can say yes or no, obviously, and they cut it off for you. If it's red, they won't come by your table, so you can kind of take a minute to eat in peace. Maybe try some of the other food, like different soups and rice and beans and salads and everything like that.
Do they have a fruit salad?
They do.
Yummy, yummy.
Fruit salad.
Salad. Yummy, yummy.
Anyway. And they also have like really good drinks. They have a caipirinha, which is a classic Brazilian drink made with cachaça, which is basically a Brazilian vodka, but it's derived from sugarcane, so it's basically sugarcane that's been turned into alcohol, and that's made with sugar and crushed up limes, and it's just fantastic.
I didn't have that. I had something else that was really good.
Yeah. I think I just had one caipirinha, and then I had a lemon drop, which is basically just...
Dude, that one was really good.
Condensed lemon, but with zero sourness.
All the lemon flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Kind of, I would say basically it was a limoncello.
Yeah. But good.
Which I need to make again. I've made homemade limoncello a couple times, and I need to do that again.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dangerous, but good.
What's a little bit of danger? It's fine.
Take nothing about life if you don't have a little danger, won't you?
Especially with alcohol, you know? It's, Oh, dude, do you know what I found out? Okay, this is gonna be great.
Oh my gosh, what did you find out, friend?
You're not even prepared. Alright.
Oh boy.
So, you know vanilla extract? That little liquid you use for cooking?
Yeah.
It is 35% alcohol.
Here's the thing, though.
What's
You
up?
buy a bottle this big, and it's like $10.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drink it. It's a waste of money.
Well, the issue is kids are buying it and drinking it so they can get drunk. Because obviously they're not legally allowed to buy regular alcohol, so they buy vanilla extract. And this is very recent. This
Imagine
is a very
what
recent
that's
thing kids are
doing to your system, though.
I know.
That's bad.
I know. But they're small kids. Like, they're like in their early to mid-teens, and they're buying these bottles and just chugging them, you know, without a care in the world.
I mean, it makes sense, but, like, it being an alcohol, but, like, you're basically drinking a concentrate.
Yeah. No, it is. No, it really is. And the issue, like, it's not classified by the FDA as a drink. Like, it's a baking supply. So, obviously, anybody can buy it. That's why these kids are able to get it and drink it.
I mean, do these kids not know where their parents' liquor cabinet is?
Honestly, like, it's so easy nowadays. Just
what the heck? Hey, Mom, is that your vodka?
yeah.
Jeez.
Or like literally. Okay, here. I'm not saying do this. This is a strict hypothetical situation. Do not drink if you are underage.
We do not condone.
Do not condone. Wait until you're 21 to drink.
Unless you're with your family and your family says it's okay and you're staying at home with your family.
If your state allows it.
If your state allows it legally.
Yes.
Which is probably a lot of them, but California and New York.
But hypothetically, what I would say...
Coincidentally.
...is if you feel like you're going to get caught for sneaking your parents' alcohol, get a separate container, pour the alcohol into that, and then store it. So whenever you need alcohol in the future, like if you're going to a party or you're having friends over, you don't have to spend that exact moment trying to A, break into your parents' cabinet if it's locked or whatever, B, getting your parents' attention like, oh, what are you doing in my cabinet? What are you doing in my office? You know, getting my alcohol, whatever. That way you have your little supply on hand and there without having the risk.
So
if that makes sense.
you're saying like pre-sneaking it?
You're pre-sneaking it because when you pre-sneak it, the alcohol will have already been out. Let's say, hypothetically, your parents are careless and they leave the bottle of whatever out because they're having their own party. That's when you spend your opportunity to sneak it while they're having their fun, and you store it. So then when you actually need it, like a month later, you have that tiny container.
I mean, smart, but what they say, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it. We gave you the idea. Don't do it. Don't listen.
What I just said was a script for a movie I'm making.
See, it's like when you listen to this podcast in general. You listen to it, but are you listening?
Yeah, are you paying attention, or are you just hearing the noise in the background? You need Jesus.
My soundboard isn't working for some reason.
Dang.
I was gonna go squeaky, but I can't.
Sad. It's probably unplugged.
Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
Oh, there we go. It turned off. Wait, these buttons aren't working, but... Okay, so my soundboard isn't lighting up, but it still gives me volume. How strange. Life is strange.
That seems like an issue.
It seems like a you problem.
Yeah. Something I don't have to deal with, because I'm all the way over here and you're all the way over there.
There we go. My camera is not focusing on me. I think I'm just too far away.
I don't know. You seem like you're good there.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're coming to the end anyway, so it's all good. Doesn't matter if it's
all good in the hood. You know what they say? If what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stand a little taller. Something. You gotta go. Oh, how far have you gotten in Stranger Things?
We are on, I think it's the second episode of season 3.
Really?
Yeah, because we started watching that after we got back from the party. So that would have been Monday evening a week and a half ago. No. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, so...
A week and a couple days. Week and 2 days.
Yeah, a week and 2 days ago. We did 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Season... I'm not judging this current season that's coming out right now, because it's not done yet. So I'm just leaving that off the books. But season 3... Well, season 1 is good, because season 1 does a really good job of encapsulating the entirety of what this whole Stranger Things, Upside Down, these aliens, and what's going on as a whole is really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
As like a opening for this series. But all in all, I think season 3 is my favorite.
Really?
Because you have the buildup of the characters, and you understand them, and then another character, which I don't think you've met yet, who is hilarious, and just how it all like incorporates itself together.
Okay.
Season 2 was fine. It was okay. It was pretty good. Season 1.
Because I feel like my at least for Maya, her main concern is that it's all following the same formula, where something bad happens, like a character gets possessed or taken, and it's always Will. At least for season 1 and 2, it's always Will. He's always the issue here. So Maya was saying, I think it was like episode 4 of season 2, like basically near the first half. She's like, why don't they just kill him? All the problems we solve, just kill him, sacrifice him.
That's the thing. I think that season 1 and the first half of season 2 are focusing on Will because he was the first one, but then in season 2 and season 3, it kind of shifts a little bit, and it's no longer really focused on Will.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing that because, we're just getting into the beginning of season 3, so there's already this, evil power gathering, and, I mean, primarily everybody's either at the mall or on top of a hill, so there's not really too much, location stuff going on. But obviously, we have all the character build-up without giving too much away for those people that may not have seen Stranger Things already, which you probably should by now.
It's a 4-year-old show or whatever at this point.
Exactly. So we have, all these childhood best friends, basically, this group of real life Dungeons and Dragons characters, in terms of how close they are with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of drifting apart in season 3, and I'm interested to see where that goes because obviously I'm in the first 2 episodes. But yeah.
Yes, season 3 is really good. They definitely bring in a whole bunch of characters that have really strong backgrounds and they're really thought out really well.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. But it's a really good season. I really enjoy season 3 a lot.
Okay. If you recommend it, if you say it's your personal favorite,
I personally think it's my favorite.
That's awesome because Maya and I were having a kind of like a hiccup of like it's the same formula or something. This big bad thing happens and it's gonna be like blah. But obviously we just started, so we don't know yet.
Season 4 throws you for some loops though. It's like, wait a second, no, wait, he, the, and she.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for how season 4 ends because like of all the different little things that they've done so far. I'm like,
and it's their it's their last season, right? Like they're not doing any more after this, or
I think so. I feel like they are because the actors and actresses are growing up a lot.
Okay. Maybe they'll do like a time skip because like if they do the same because like from what I've heard, season 4 is like them kind of getting into high school, and everybody's like in their 20s, so there's no way they can have that charade like these 20-year-olds playing 14-year-olds anymore.
Yeah, most of them now are probably in their like 20 years old and they're in high school, so I think that's what they're doing. I think season 4 is the last season. I think.
Okay, but if they do another one, maybe they can do like a time skip where they're like in college or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might feel a bit different, but I don't know. We'll see.
But it's really good. Really good show.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go watch that because we gotta speed ahead, full steam ahead. Because like the last half of season 4 comes out in July, right?
Yeah. So you still have like 3 weeks though.
Oh yeah. We'll finish, but
you have plenty of time. Don't binge it. With with the first half of season 4, each episode is like an hour and a half long. Christine and I were waiting so long for it, we kind of binged it in like 2 days because like we've been waiting like 3 years for the show. But for you guys, I would definitely do 1 episode a day to ponder the episode, and then the next day watch it, and then you can ponder the episode.
Okay.
Because that's what I would recommend. I even said to Christine like, let's watch like 1 a day. No,
it didn't happen.
Like I feel like to us, Stranger Things is our binging show because it was like the first show that we actually binged. Back in, I think, beginning of college, I think, was when it first came out.
Yeah, like 2016, 2017, something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, it's good.
It's pretty good.
I'm really surprised Ruth has not seen it. I'm calling you out, Ruth. You have not seen Stranger Things. You're missing out on such good content.
I know. Also, one last thing before we go. She messaged me the other day because like apparently Lady Gaga is going to be in Joker 2. And it's going to be like a musical, which is really weird. And also, Lady Gaga may or may not be playing Harley Quinn.
I heard about that.
That's not confirmed. But Ruth, listen. Ruth told me she hasn't seen the first Joker movie.
She hasn't seen that either?
No, I have. I've seen it.
No, her.
What? Oh yeah, no, she hasn't seen it.
She's all hub about like superhero stuff.
I
what
know.
The heck?
And so I told her, I'm like, you should really watch it. It's a good movie. I think you'll like it. She said, maybe. Why do you say I'll like it? I'm like, do I have to? I didn't say this to her, but I'm
superhero related.
Like, do I have to sell this to you? It's the Joker.
What more do you want?
Yeah. I mean, what I said was like, I was like...
But then she sent a group chat thing, and she goes, I'm throwing Ruth on the bus for this one. She's like, Spider-Man No Way Home is coming back in theaters with 10 extra minutes of content. I'm like, I'm not spending... Who
cares?
Whoop-de-freaking-do. I don't care. That timeline of Marvel is done. We're now in the Dark Universe now.
Yeah. You're gonna see the clips on YouTube of the extra content. You don't have to spend another $15 on your movie ticket to go watch it, the whole movie again. No, don't do it.
But Love and Thunder,
it's gonna be awesome. Good. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a good time.
I have not seen a trailer yet, and I'm so glad.
Oh yeah, there's not. There's
I know there's not a ton of stuff like that can be spoiled in it though, as from what I've vaguely heard. But
do you know about the bad guy?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you?
No.
Okay.
I know Natalie Portman's in it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
She is.
Yep,
Also, Korg, the rock monster. He's in it.
I'm Korg. I'm a rock.
I'm a rock.
I'm a rock.
You do a pretty
Okay.
good. You do a pretty good Kiwi accent.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
Stop
gosh,
it.
stop
Oh,
it.
you.
No one ever says anything nice about me. Shut up, Brenda. Sorry.
and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close out the show. Thank you everyone for watching and or listening. This has been Caleb.
Hello.
And we will catch you on the next podcast episode coming out 2 weeks. And Luke, any final words you want to say?
Do you smell bacon?
Da, 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 da. Just poop on my duck.
Just like that.